you'll be learning how to use your walking cane for self-defense. This simple safety device, this medical device that you can carry with you anywhere you go, is very effective in self-defense. You can quickly employ it between you and the threat, thrusting with one hand, with two hands, striking down at an angle with that double hand or with a single hand. You can use the crook to stick into the flesh to remove or damage the person who's trying to hurt you, to stop them from hurting you using your walking cane for self-defense. There are many techniques you're gonna learn. I'm gonna help you get started with a simple warm-up first. Take the cane in your hand. You wanna have the long side of the cane coming out, and you're going to spin it forward, pushing it down, away from you, and around your body. This basic orbital spin will start to warm up your body. Hello, Patrick, it's good to see you. Your stomach is up and in, your abs are tight. Your hand is not completely closed. It's closed enough that it doesn't come out. But again, you're just cranking around. This is called combat cane spinning and is a way to warm your body up, build callus on your hand, develop proprioception or spatial awareness, timing and distance, a good feeling for how it moves. This is not necessarily a self-defense move, but it's a good way to get warmed up and prepared for your self-defense training. After you've done this for 30 seconds, bring your hand over and then back. This is now a figure eight spinning motion that allows you to cross your body. This is great for the brain elasticity, plasticity, youthfulness, but it also is going to start to engage more of your shoulder, your elbow, your core muscles will engage. You can do this standing or sitting. Either way is good when you're practicing senior self-defense, walking cane for self-defense. Bring it over and back, as simple as doing like a palm slap across the face and the backhand across the face. You're just coming in one direction and then the other direction. After 30 seconds here, put it into the other hand so your palm is up. Doug says he still does. Hello, Doug. His cane kata every day. Patrick, I didn't see that. This disappeared a little bit too fast. Send that again. You're going around the body. Yes, the cane kata, or practicing a pattern of moves with the cane, is also really good for brain elasticity, to keep you young and fresh. Also, practice all the different techniques so that you can defend yourself better using your walking cane for self-defense. Bring this over and back. A simple motion. Stomach up and in, abs tight, drop your chin. You can do this standing, you can do this seated on the edge of a bed, in a wheelchair. You can do this in a regular chair, on a park bench. You don't have to be standing. It's good to practice it in both ways. Get used to sitting down. You might be sitting waiting for the bus. You might be sitting on a bus or on a plane in the subway and have to immediately employ your cane for self-defense. So I like to practice these both standing and sitting. Now, that's a simple warm-up. Like I said, it'll build callus in your hand, allowing you to slide the cane into your hand so that you can use it for self-defense much more quickly. Now, another way that I'm gonna have you spin in this warm-up is holding it past the crook a little bit on the shaft. You're gonna go outside and around your body. Your elbows bent here, dropping the cane to the front. And then as it goes down, your palm faces the sky, your thumb comes back toward your head, and it comes forward again. And your hand, you're doing this with the hand closed so you can improve flexibility and strengthen your wrist. If you open your hand, you might be able to go faster. That's more of a trick. That's not really gonna help you with senior self-defense when you're learning how to use your walking cane for self-defense. You're gonna bring that now to the inside, into the other side of your body, and it's the same thing. Your hand goes down, but this time instead of facing the sky, the palm will face the ground. Bring it up and back and around. Patrick asked for the Tonfa video. Yeah, Patrick, I'll do a Tonfa video for you. Thank you. I've been thinking, what weapon have I been neglecting or missing lately? And Tonfa, we should do Tonfa either today. I've got to go. I have an appointment. I'm prepping. I think you should be too. I'm going out to get some propane to make sure we have a way to cook. Make sure I have some energy sources, some extra food, water, things like that on hand. It's always better to prepare than to panic. So who knows what will happen, right? But it's better not to be in a long line fighting over toilet paper, fighting over gas, fighting over food and water. If you can put some of that aside when things seem a little crazy, and then nothing happens, you just work through it. You have extra stuff for a while, then you go back to your normal behavior. Better to prepare than to panic. So you're going side to side in this figure 8 motion. This is going to start to give you strength in your wrist. I'm going to pull this bag in. When you start to strike for self-defense, you're going to have these basic angular strikes. Either think of to the temple or into the neck, maybe into the arm or the ribs, coming down to the hip or down into the leg, or maybe it's a vicious animal that's trying to attack you. You have to immediately defend yourself. All of this spinning from side to side is going to build power and flexibility in your wrist and give you the ability to strike harder with your cane for self-defense when you use a walking cane for self-defense, whether you're a senior or not. So you don't have to be a senior to do this, but this is senior self-defense. Put it in the other hand and start again. Senior self-defense using your walking cane for self-defense. It's one of the best, most effective tools you can carry with you. It's the gray man or gray woman option because it's not an obvious self-defense tool. But look, it's just a big stick, right? You can immediately snatch that up into the legs, between someone's legs, put them on the ground. You can thrust it into the lower part of their body. You can bring it up under the chin, thrust in through the neck for effective, powerful, and permanent self-defense. So this is not child's play. It's not a little kid weapon. This is senior self-defense, walking cane self-defense. But it's a great gray man or gray woman option because it blends in with your surroundings. It looks like what it is. It's a medical device. It's a mobility device. You just happen to learn how to use it for self-defense because you're wise enough to prepare so that you don't have to panic. Prepare so you don't have to perish. You'll have some other options to defend yourself. And if he has a bladed weapon like a knife or a machete or a hatchet, this is longer. This is longer than the handle and the blade of all those things. You can put this between you and him and keep him at a distance, but do it in a way that will stop him from attacking you. So I want you to learn how to use the cane for self-defense. We have it in the left hand, and drop it to the outside. And it's a great option. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. Practice with the walking cane for self-defense, just so you have more options. Develop all your tools in your tool set, your toolbox for self-defense. After you bring it to the outside, bring it to the inside. Become well-rounded, become super effective, highly effective in defending yourself. And even if you don't carry the cane, if you learn how to train with it and practice with it, it's going to help you defend yourself with other tools. It's all about timing, distance, spatial awareness, strength, speed, flexibility, and understanding what targets you remove or destroy on the bad guy, on the opponent, on the thug, criminal, the creeper, right, who's trying to hurt you. Learning how to remove their ability to see you or breathe temporarily or permanently, ability to stand up and breathe, take out the legs, take out the arms. This self-defense walking cane, this is the training cane. This is the one I carry every day. It stays with me in the car. I call it my car insurance policy or my auto insurance policy. Hello, Garen, it's good to see you. It's just a little bit nicer looking. Has those eyeballs there. I don't really care about the eyeballs so much, but the tooth right here, that will rip flesh. That'll remove an eye or a nose or teeth or go into the neck and do damage for self-defense. And it's designed for self-defense and to look nice. It also has this teardrop shape so that you can focus and concentrate all of that force from those strikes on that dull blade for self-defense. And these will both shatter bone for self-defense. This is the Stealth Traveler. Stealth, again, gray man option. It just looks like a fancy cane. You know what it's for. You can bring it in quickly, up, through, You can slide here. All of it can be done with one hand or with both hands. This is the Dojo training cane. This one's about 40 bucks, but I don't know exactly how much they are. This one's over 100 bucks. This is your more expensive option. I have both because I carry one in the car, but you can start with a store-bought cane for 9, 10 bucks. They break very easily. This won't break for years and years. The link is below if you want to see what the dimensions are and what the features are and what they're made out of. I suggest highly, these are oak, I would go for hickory. I've been using hickory weapons now, and I think if you get hickory, you're not gonna break it. And if you're older and you're not as strong as you were before, or you're arthritic in your hands, go for a 7/8 inch cane. If you look below, the Cane Masters canes can be made in oak or hickory. If you go for hickory, go for a little bit smaller, 7/8 inch. In hickory, it's gonna be stronger than this inch oak cane. So there's just some tips, some pro tips, in case you were wondering, what's the best cane for me? Cane reviews for self-defense canes. I do them every once in a while, but I don't do them that often because I found what works for me the best. What works for you might be different, but the Cane Masters canes can't be beat in my opinion. And again, this is super inexpensive and it's nice enough you can carry this every day and it blends in with your environment. Like I said, gray man option, gray woman option. All right, so we've properly warmed up both sides of the body. I want to go into some immediate self-defense techniques I want you to learn as a senior, for senior self-defense, using your walking cane for self-defense. The first one is just in this regular position, the way you would be walking down the street with it. Always get your hand up, the opposite hand, if you feel threatened. You have to use situational awareness first. Yeah, Garen says hickory is awesome. Situational awareness is the first principle of self-defense, whether it's with a cane or any other tool for self-defense, or if it's hand-to-hand combat. It's just you don't have anything, but you want to defend yourself, pay attention to your surroundings, get your phone, stick it in your pocket, stick it in your bag. Don't look at it while you're walking around, obviously. That seems obvious, but we see people do it all the time. I have a parking lot here. I watch people walk into the stores. There are two kinds of people. One, that if a car comes by, they can quickly get out of the way. And it happened last week. This van comes flying around the corner. Woman sees it because she's paying attention. Her phone was not in her hand like this. And she jumps, she gets clipped by it, but she didn't get squished. She would have get squished. If she were looking like this, there's no way that would have just run her over. But then all the other ones, I see a guy there, there's one right now. He's walking like this. And then there's a guy walking by him like this. And he's paying attention. So it's as simple as that. Pay attention. Doug asked what position you hold the cane when you suspect someone's going to attack you. Doug will go over that right now. But pay attention. Situational awareness. You now suspect someone might attack you. Get your hand up. Immediately. Put your hand between you and the threat. Don't try to block it last second. You'll never be able to get up in time. So you have to bring this one up. Your cane is between you and the threat. We'll call this the threat. Between me and the threat, I have a big piece of oak. It's 36 inches. I can now try to keep him away from me. My other hand is up to guard my head. Remember, I want you to put your helmet on. Think about putting your helmet on. If this is him, he comes in too fast, and you put your helmet on, your elbow drives into his face. You can stop most attacks by moving forward and just putting your helmet on. Right? Use the tip of your elbow to stop him. Doesn't matter how big he is. If you bring this up at the same time, you can now slide this in, smash him in the face, smash straight down like that. But get that other hand up. As your hand comes up, you're going to let it slide down the shaft a little bit. And this is the first position for self-defense. This is a first position because I want you to figure out what works for you. I want you to practice them all. Put one foot in front of the other one or step back. Get the cane between you and the threat. Hello, Naj. It's good to see you. Yeah, Slovakia says, or Patrick says in Slovakia they have red oak. Red oak is really popular because it's cheap. It's less expensive, but it often breaks easier than the white oak. But it's a good option. If you have nothing else, red oak is a good way to start. Between you and the threat, I have my cane. The other hand is up in case they have a bladed weapon. You want to guard all of this stuff here. You can now, from here, thrust. And I want you to practice thrusting in this position. After the thrust, you're gonna bring this to your shoulder. Yeah, Johnny says whack them all. From the shoulder, you can strike in and at an angle. Not here. This is the wrong way to strike. It's too hard on your shoulder. Your arm is going to wrap around them when they close the distance. If you're here, they close the distance, this goes right through his face for self-defense. So I'm here, I want to stop him with a thrust, pull it to my shoulder, and strike. Pull it to the other shoulder, and strike. So I want you to practice from here, put this one up. Yeah, Garen says dogwood is great too. Get in a better position, one foot behind the other one. The foot and the hand should be the same foot as the hand that's in front. So this is my right hand. My right foot should be in front. My other hand is up. I'm going to thrust into his eyes, nose, throat, anywhere in the center line of his body. Bring this in. Practice your strike one. Practice strike two. So from here, get into a better position. Thrust, strike one side, strike the other side. From here, better position, thrust, 1, 2. Now that's a simple opening combination that you can practice over and over, and I suggest you practice it with both hands. Get into the other hand, thrust, 1, 2. Step back into your ready position, like you're walking down the street. Here comes the threat, thrust, 1, 2. The more you do this, the more natural it will become. It'll start to flow from you. You'll be able to do it without thinking about it. You'll be able to defend yourself with your walking cane, whether you're a senior or not. Now, senior self-defense, cane self-defense, or walking cane self-defense, next technique I want you to learn is if you were to turn the crook facing the other way and you now had it like this. This is ergonomically better for you. This is a better way to carry your cane, but a lot of people prefer to carry it like this. You can also carry it like this. It's your choice. Learn how to use it both ways is my opinion. Now from here, you're going to slide it up into your hand. As you slide it up, just like before, the other hand comes up between you and the threat, stopping him from slashing your face, punching your face, hitting you immediately because you're paying attention. Situational awareness is number one. Number two, get into a better position. Step away, or I like to step in and close the distance, especially if I'm afraid he might be trying to immediately attack me. I want to be here because I'm going to just shove it right in his face. So I want you to practice this first technique. You're here, get in a better position, and simply thrust. Imagine that this is a big fist. Take the fist and stick it in his face for self-defense. Now the reason this works so well, it's not a hard strike, it's not a knockout punch, but it's a hard piece of wood, or whatever yours is made out of. You might have a metal cane, walking cane for self-defense, or you might have one of those other like polymers or plastic cane for self-defense. From here, Chris says he wanted to say the cane lessons have been helpful. Thank you, Chris, for that feedback. You're smashing nose, teeth, eyes, throat. Yeah, Garen says awareness prevents most attacks. Solar plexus, soft tissue with the tip of your hard cane. So from here, this is why senior self-defense is so effective when you practice walking cane self-defense techniques using the most basic, immediate, direct, explosive techniques. From here, just come it straight in. Don't try to overcomplicate it. Don't get super fancy. Good morning, Mohammed. It's good to see you. Just bring it up and thrust. Bring it up, thrust. Bring it up, thrust. If you have something to hit, hit it. If you don't have something to hit, do it in the air. 1, 2. After that first thrust, I want you to turn your hand. From here, pull your hand back so it comes into your other hand. So you're going to thrust, back, chop. Thrust, back, chop. You're thrusting with that big fist back, and now you're turning it into a hatchet. Imagine a firefighter having to break through a wall or a door with their axe. That's you. You're chopping with your axe. So from here, get into a better position, straight to his face, bring it in immediately, thrust. Now reach and rip. You're gonna reach and rip. You're gonna be very strong in this position. These are all senior self-defense techniques using your walking cane for self-defense. And you don't have to be super strong or agile or fit. You should practice though. 1, 2, 3, lift and rip. And what's happening is you're using this beveled edge to go into flesh, muscle, tendons, into the neck, into the arteries, and you're just pulling as hard as you can. Now, this is self-defense. You're gonna do a lot of damage to the thug, punk, criminal who's been let out of jail the same day after multiple offenses. The man in New York the other day, he smeared feces on the woman. It was a violent, horrific attack. He had been in jail the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that, and every time they let him out, he goes and sees the judge for smearing feces on this woman who's minding her own business. Just a violent, vicious, disgusting, hateful attack, and the judge let him out. Same day, no bail, no cash bail. That's why, whether you're a senior looking for self-defense or just somebody who's paying attention, you're saying, look, if they won't protect me, I have to be my own first responder. If they won't protect me because of these horrific, stupid policies that somehow these guys are passing, allowing the criminal to have more rights and the ability to hurt the innocent, you got to defend yourself. You got to be your own first responder, your own bodyguard, your own personal protection detail. So as a senior learning self-defense, using your walking cane for self-defense, slide it up, stick it in his face, pull it to your shoulder, chop him a little bit, reach and rip. Now, the next way I want you to use it for self-defense, you can hold it here or here. Either one is going to work. I'm going to hold it here first and show you, and then I'm going to turn it around and show you that both are right. Now imagine that's his groin right there. It's about the same height as mine. Your hand comes up, I took a step back, I'm going to snap it just by turning my wrist up. Two things are happening. My wrist is turning and this long lever is lifting. This is bending, my elbow's bending. So I'm accelerating this strike. I'm getting more power than if I just did one of those motions by themselves. So when you're here, you're gonna reach this up, snatch it up, and hit him, hopefully right in the groin. And if you miss, maybe you go up and you bust him up under the chin. From here, I put the other hand here, and I step with the thrust. Anytime you step with your thrust, you're going to generate stopping power, knockout power for self-defense. So from here, it's in the hand, snatch it up between his legs, thrust, and just knocked him out. Knock him over. Now, I'm a big person that weighs 275 pounds, but it doesn't matter. You have the whole weight of your body. Even if you weigh 100 pounds, you put 100 pounds into that strike. This going into, and it's not the private parts, it's between his privates and his belly button, that thin fascia of muscle that keeps your guts in. When there's a tear and your guts hang out on the other outside, just under your skin, they call that a hernia. And if you've ever had a hernia, you know how hard it is to do a lot of things. So if you snatch this up between his legs, drop him a little bit, and then down here, you're super strong. If you pull it up here, it's not as strong. From here, straight in. If you do want to go to his throat, lift the front hand. Always keep the back hand down and kind of attached to your hip. If you keep that attached to your hip, you're going to be very strong in this self-defense technique. Whether you're using this senior self-defense, using your walking cane for self-defense, or you're looking for a gray man, gray woman option. Maybe you're a prepper looking for a self-defense, extra self-defense tool when the stuff hits the fan. Looks like a lot of stuff's hitting the fan this week, right? I snatch here, boom, and I come straight in. That also works if I turn the crook around and I have it facing out. Same thing, snatch it up and thrust. Snatch it up, thrust. And I suggest you practice both, starting here and in both hands, starting here, hit them, pull it up, and also practice, what if you miss? What if it comes flying up? Just get used to that motion. You'll be able to control it. And like I said, it'll probably hit some part of his body, hopefully the bottom of his chin, smash his teeth together, break his teeth for self-defense, and then stick it through his throat if you have to. But defend yourself. Learn how to be your own personal protection detail, your own bodyguard, your own sentinel for self-defense, your own first responder, whether you're using this for senior self-defense, the cane self-defense or walking cane self-defense, or you're just looking for self-defense for another reason using the cane, or you just have a passion for learning all different types of martial arts weapons. Now, the last thing I want you to practice is bringing the cane between you and the threat. Let's say you did not pay attention, or he bum rushes you or catches you off guard, whatever reason, maybe there are multiple attackers, and all of a sudden they're on top of you. You're gonna bring your cane straight up in the air next to your face, and then bring it between you and him, and down. Now let's say this, make him a little taller. This is his nose, right? I wanna bring this up, and I'm gonna just rip it straight down his face. You're gonna rip it between you and just rip everything you can. Bring it down like this. Again, this is a position that you're gonna be very strong in. Doesn't matter how strong he is. Bring this up here, bring it around and down. It's just like you're pulling